Mucklick here, and I make concise, spoiler-free game reviews that help you decide if you want to buy something without spoiling the game for you. This is Return of the Obra Dinn, an adventure puzzle mystery game. It is available on PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and is rated M for mature. The goal of this review is to determine whether or not this game is worth its $20 price tag for you. The game's setting, with no spoilers beyond the tutorial. The Obra Dinn, a vessel that had gone missing with 60 people on board, has just returned to port. You play the role of a chief inspector for an insurance and claims company, and you've been sent to assess it to see what happened to the Obra Dinn and the 60 people who had been on board it. The general gameplay. In order to solve the mystery of what happened, you have a few tools at your disposal. One is a book that fills in with a story as you discover it. It also has a list of all the passengers that were on the ship, and a few pictures done by an artist of the crew. However, you do not know which names go with which face. A map of the boat's floors and the route it took. Lastly, you have a magic pocket watch. When used on a body, you can see the world as it existed during the moment that person died. This allows you to see the cause of death of that individual, but also what others nearby were doing at that moment in time. For spoiler reasons, I'm only showing you the very first body you find during the tutorial. During these scenes, you can study the face, positions of people, outfits, last words, where they are on the deck, other things to figure out which person is which, how they died, or if they got off the ship alive at some point in the journey. After making 3 successful guesses in your book, it will confirm that those are correct and lock them in. So, while it is possible to do the brute force approach, it would take an incredible amount of time unless you had narrowed it down to a few options beforehand. Return of the Obra Dinn took me over 10 hours of gameplay for the first playthrough. During the first half of that, I solved a small portion of the mysteries, but the second half sped up dramatically. Due to ruling people out, there are less names to worry about the further you progress. Comparisons to other games. Usually at this point in my reviews, I compare this game to other titles, with phrases like, if you loved X game, you might really love this. But this is the first mystery video game I had ever played. It felt like playing Clue, but instead of 1 or 2 murders, I was dealing with potentially 60 all at once. The details. Graphics. If you haven't noticed it by now, the game has a very unique graphics style. You can also change it between many retro settings in the options menu. The style is kind of odd on the eyes, but very unique, and it grew on me. Some of the still shots you see through the game that took the lives of the crew are incredibly stunning, and again, I'm resisting the urge to show them now as I don't want to spoil those moments. Sounds and music. The music of the game was fantastic, and a constant joy for our audience. The game did a great job of building up the music to come to a climax right as a climactic visual moment was about to show.
Exactly what I give you!
Controls. Return of the Obra Dinn can be played with a controller or with mouse and keyboard. You cannot rebind the controls, but there aren't that many and they didn't feel bad to play with in my opinion. I did my full playthrough with mouse and keyboard and had no issues. Saving system. The game saves anytime you exit the main menu. Content creator concerns. None. I streamed my entire playthrough on Twitch and uploaded the entire thing to our Mucklick Plays YouTube channel and did not experience any muted VODs or have any issues with copyright claims. Do I have anything negative to say? My playthrough of Obra Dinn was entirely bug-free, and while some of the mysteries were quite challenging to figure out, they also felt fair. Each person I solved, I was able to spot something that gave me valuable information, such as their location, their garb, what country they appeared to be from, etc. Final thoughts. I had never played a game like this before Obra Dinn, and while I don't think I've discovered a raging passion for mystery games, I will say I felt incredibly accomplished locking in the final names. Figuring out all 60 gives you such a high level of satisfaction that, combined with its unique art style, fantastic music, and great storytelling, I believe that Return of the Obra Dinn is absolutely worth its price. This video is not sponsored, so if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to see more of my own playthrough of Return of the Obra Dinn, I'll include a link to that playlist from our other channel down below. Subscribe there too. As always, a massive thank you to our dear patrons who make content like this possible. If you'd like to become a supporter and earn early access, there's a link to that in the description. Happy sleuthing!